Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Gogo now boasts a complete 5G network. Wisk prepares for an AAM future. Bombardier seeks sustainability. This week's coverage of NBAA base is powered by Gogo 5G, allowing business aviation to communicate faster than ever. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Blee. Let's get into today's stories. Gogo now boasts a complete 5G network. Gogo Business Aviation has finished construction of its nationwide Gogo 5G network. The 5G network now covers the contiguous United States and will expand into Canada beginning in 2023. Gogo 5G is expected to deliver approximately 25 megabits per second on average, with peak speeds in the 75 to 80 megabits per second range, and has been designed to deliver high throughput with very low latency to address the increasing demand for data-heavy interactive services, like video conferencing, live TV, and gaming.
150 stations all set up now for Gogo 5G. That's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, the team did a phenomenal job, and developing and deploying a network of 150 sites in and of itself is a tremendous task. But when you consider the fact that the design of the project, of the LRUs, the ground-based equipment, the data centers, things that people don't even think about, all of this was done through the COVID shutdown with 5 different countries, 3 different continents, and about 6 or 7 different Tier 1 suppliers from Cisco to Airspan, countries in the UK, Israel, and doing this through a COVID environment, having to figure out how do you test the hardware, getting people to volunteer to come in to test hardware so we can go to validation and qual. To get us to this point is truly a feat. The team is, hats off to the team.
What is the deployment going to look like from here?
So the Airborne radio has an STC MPMA, the antennas have an STC MPMA, and the 150 site nationwide network is deployed. The issue that we had about a month and a half ago is that we were informed that on the first production run of the 5G chipset, Samsung found a manufacturing error. And that was a devastating blow for us. Matter of fact, we took a second thought of our celebration here. We did a celebration of the completion of the network last night, and we're getting ready to do one in the booth again. And we almost postponed those plans, because the reality is that we're not going to be able to start shipping the radios until we get that 5G chipset sometime in mid-next year. But with everything the team has achieved, we just felt, no, this is still worth the celebration. So that's where we're at in terms of the actual deployment. Really, we're just waiting on that 5G chipset. What is so exciting about 5G for us is that really, when we first got into this business, it was all about your email. But today, it's not just about your email. It's about how do you stay in contact with the kids or with mom, with the office, how do you get the Excel spreadsheet? What 5G is going to give us is the ability to take that to the aircraft so that passengers and aircraft owners can do the exact same thing in the air as they do on the ground. And so it's really exciting, both from a technology but also from a user standpoint.
And after the break, John and Martha King get writer's cramp at NBAA.
I'm Brad Keselowski, and some people know me as the NASCAR driver, where I've competed for 13 years at the Cup Series level. There is no typical day in my world. Not knowing what my day is going to be, I have to have as much flexibility as possible. I've been a Gogo customer for over 5 years, and so I've seen the technology just continue to improve. It's an enabler that helps me make the most of a crazy world that I'm in. Overall, I'm extremely happy with the Gogo system I have on my airplane.
Unbridled passion, unequaled performance, unlimited possibilities.
Hartzell Aviation, you are cleared for takeoff.
Introducing Hartzell Aviation, leading general aviation companies united by the Hartzell guiding principle of built on honor, a commitment to uphold the highest standards in quality, performance, and support. Hartzell Propeller, Hartzell Engine Tech, Hartzell Aerospace Welding. We are Hartzell Aviation.
Now boarding at hartzellaviation.com.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some other interesting stories. John and Martha King get writer's cramp at NBAA. Lift, How to Start, Run, and Grow Your Own Successful Business has been officially released and is now available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. At NBAA 2022, however, an amazing number of fans lined up around the NBAA display area waiting on a chance to get John and Martha to sign copies of their new book. And the lines were long. It was a fun event where people got their book signed, posed for pics along with King's dynamic duo, and enjoyed being a part of a fun bit of aviation camaraderie. Alto announces 25th anniversary edition of Soundstage. Alto Aviation kicked off their exhibition at NBAA Base with their recently released 25th anniversary special edition of their MySound portfolio audio system. Business aviators looking for the pinnacle of in-flight entertainment can opt for Alto's seat-centric 6.2 home theater equipment, allowing for accurate acoustic reproduction for any kind of music, cinema, or performance. Integration with Alto's cabin control applications or line-of-fit compatible Cadence keypads allows for simple, streamlined passenger control, allowing them to enjoy a spatially accurate listening experience throughout the home theater area. Airbus Corporate Jets expands American operations. Airbus has reinforced its corporate footprint in the United States, announcing the expansion of its sales, support, and marketing efforts in the market at this year's NBAA base. The expansion comes at a time when more than 1,200 business jets are expected to be replaced or repurchased in the market, with 100 bizliners and 1,100 jets expected to change hands in the near future. The business aviation market has been heating up since 2020 amid a trend of increased private flight, and Airbus feels that the North American region is ripe for conquest. DJI creates short film of Everest with off-the-shelf Mavic 3 drone. DJI pushed its new Mavic 3 drone to the limits for some impressive footage. The expedition saw a bone stock Mavic 3 come along for the ride before taking flight to record the mountain from a point of view rarely seen. 8K Raw lended their expertise real-world photography, working with DJI to develop a flight plan that would sufficiently account for a range of performance detriments experienced in the frigid, thin air over the mountain. The little Mavic wound its way up to 9,232 meters to capture a top-down, sunny summer view over the summit with its built-in Hasselblad camera. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Wisk prepares for an AAM future. Readying its 6th-generation prototype, Wisk briefed ANN's Jim Campbell at NBAA with the 5th-generation bird close by, while also noting that the process ahead is likely to be a long one.
Dan opening day of NBAA 2022, there have been a lot of interesting announcements, nothing earth-shaking so far this year. No new Gulfstreams, no new Textrons, blah, blah, blah. And it's been the emerging technologies that everybody kind of working their way down to this end of the building, because the Gulfstreams of today are cool, but the question is what's going to transport us tomorrow? And well, it looks like we got a good step here.
This is one of those aircraft. So I think, when we look at a show like this, there's so much opportunity, not only in legacy aviation, but there's so much that's happening in our realm, in the emerging technology realm, that builds upon legacy aviation, but also takes advantage of future technologies and technologies today that we're able to then apply to aviation. So I think what you're seeing is a lot of folks from legacy aviation, including myself, pilot, who really see and enjoy the heyday of flying, and today now looking at what the next evolution of flight looks like. And so for many of us, we think it's AAM, or advanced air mobility, in the form of these electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft.
The airframe as it stands now, what are the capabilities that you have? What capabilities are you shooting for?
So this in particular, this is our Generation 5 aircraft, so it has a separate lift system plus a cruise system. So it has these 12 independent lift fans that help lift it like a helicopter, and then it has the pusher fan that drives it on the wing, and it can actually fly on the wing and take advantage of those efficiencies. The next generation aircraft has 12 motors and has a tilt mechanism. So it actually has the front motors will tilt up, allow it to take off, and then they'll tilt forward to go in forward flight. So with that new system, it adds so much more capability to what we're able to offer, to include 4 seats. And so with that, there's a whole range of new ideas that come and new opportunities for not only the aircraft, but for the operations. The propulsion is the heart of it, and that's really where the opportunity lies, because not only are these aircraft safe in the form of multiple redundant systems, but they're also quieter, and that's where you really get into that community engagement aspect of showing people that these are not helicopters or these are not your general aviation aircraft. This is a whole new form of airplane that they've never seen before, and we would love to know what they think about it.
Piloting.
So we do not have a pilot on board. We have no plans to. While pilots are fantastic, again, I enjoy being a pilot, you enjoy being a pilot, there are a lot of opportunities for human error in the day-to-day. And so by having an autonomous system, we're trying to mitigate some of those errors that come from a human being involved. In addition to that, there's cost benefits and complexity benefits and whatnot. But for us, we will still have a human supervising the flight. So when the aircraft is, everything from the pre-departure briefing, safety briefings, all these types of things, there's always going to be a human there. And then once the aircraft actually flies, there's always going to be a human supervisor in the loop watching over the flight as it goes. So.
And after these messages, Bombardier seeks sustainability.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/Rusty today for details.
Are you tired of tucking your phone under your headset to make a call and having cords and adapters strewn about the cockpit? Experience wireless cell phone communications and your personal music with Pilot Communications BlueLink 2. BlueLink 2 gives you a wearable link to 2 Bluetooth-enabled devices at the same time and can even control your phone and music. Use BlueLink 2 with your existing headset or a Pilot Communications headset from pilot-usa.com.
Throughout the globe, Piper Aircraft has hand-selected the very best in company representation, service, and support. From first inquiry to acquisition to product support, Piper Aircraft ownership is seamless and worry-free. Piper Aircraft authorized dealers, factory trained, factory connected.
Welcome back. Bombardier seeks sustainability. Bombardier wants the world to know that BizAv has been doing its part in regards to sustainability for a long time, and the finger pointing by ignorant accusers needs to be countered by facts and a continuing effort by the entire industry to do even better in the future.
I have to say from the start that our industry, if you go back to the 1950s, and since we've been, developing private aviation, we went through major reduction in terms of emission. So our industry has, an history of always bringing emissions down and down and down. Also, to put this in perspective, the total aviation, I'm talking about private aviation and airline, contribute to about 2% of emissions. Private aviation is 0.05%. Okay. Despite a low number, we definitely as an industry are not saying, this is a low number, doesn't make a difference. Totally not. We are engaged, and we said that actually 10 years ago, that we were going to reduce by 2050 by 50%. We reiterated and actually made a bigger engagement, about 2 years ago, saying that we will be carbon neutral by 2050. So the history of private aviation has been extremely solid in terms of reducing emission. And when we look forward, we're going to continue to do the same thing, despite that the number of private aviation is 0.05. So it's not just Bombardier, but I think as an industry, we are taking this very seriously. As far as Bombardier is concerned, we are promoting a lot, sustainable fuel. Because right now, today, without any technology development, we can reduce by 25% roughly, the emission. The challenge right now, and we need to push this very hard as an industry, is the fact that we can You know, we need a better distribution network of those sustainable fuel, and we should have it in every airport. So as an industry, we need to push that. As a company, we are pushing it very, very hard.
And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.